It's game day here in Tallahassee, a top 25 showdown between Florida State and Maryland. Welcome inside Doak alongside Lane Hurt. I'm Scott Kotick, and Lane, the Terrapins, bar none, are the best team the Seminoles have faced so far this season. Top to bottom, across the board, it's a good Terrapin team this year.
Absolutely, Scott. I mean, you're looking at a defense that's ranked second in the country. They have 17 sacks on the season, which is also second in the nation. And offense with C.J. Brown and Stephon Diggs, who can really cause some matchup problems. Plus, they're coming off a bye week, just like Boston College was. This is a really tough matchup for Florida State. Certainly nobody's overlooking this one.
And the one thing you mentioned early, that offense, C.J. Brown's having an unbelievable season. Correct me if I'm wrong, he might be leading the ACC in total offense. So this is a guy that has been very successful. You mentioned Diggs, you mentioned the running back. It's like they've got weapons all across the board.
A lot of weapons for Maryland, and like I said before, just like Boston College, they're coming off a bye week, so expect some new wrinkles in there for Maryland that try to catch us off guard, go against some of the tendencies that they showed in their first 4 games. But also for Maryland, this is their first real test as well. This is definitely the best team that they've faced this season, so they're kind of looking at measuring themselves as well today.
Defensively, you mentioned it earlier, Maryland's a team that likes to blitz from every part of the field. If it's a safety, if it's a corner, linebacker, it doesn't matter. They're going to bring blitz. This is a very different Maryland team than we saw last season. When we went up to College Park, it was a linebacker playing quarterback. Well, now that linebacker's still playing defense again, and this is going to be a team that's going to throw a lot at Florida State's offense.
Absolutely. I think last year going into this game, they're being put together with duct tape, and there is no question that Florida State was going to go up there and win. It was just about how much. This year, that's not the case. This is a very good team. They're going to blitz. The good news is Florida State and Jameis Winston has looked very good against the blitz so far this year. Winston has completed over 67% of his passes that have traveled more than 15 yards in the air. He's been able to take advantage of that because of his very good wide receivers. That's going to be the main thing, is going to be strength versus strength here. Whoever gets the upper hand there is going to have a great advantage.
It definitely helps when you have number 5 on the offensive side of the ball for sure. Last year, Devontae Freeman set a FSU record for most rushing yards in a game against Maryland, 148. Keys to the game, should Florida State be able to run the ball with that same success they did last year, not turn the ball over, and be able to just protect Jameis Winston just long enough, they'll walk out of here with their 3rd ACC win of the season.
Absolutely. And then on the defensive side is reacting to those tweaks that Maryland might have in their offense and getting off the field early, getting some confidence. I think that's the one thing the Seminole defense has been dying for, is a 3 and out to start the game, get some momentum. And if they can do that and kind of get Maryland on their heels and make them one-dimensional, I think that bodes very well for Florida State.
And maybe one thing that hard for Seminole fans to believe, last week could have been a very good thing. I know a lot of fans upset. How good is the defense? Are they going to have the same sort of success they did the past 3 seasons? That's one game. And I think in a lot of ways, I think you would agree, we talked about this earlier, can they be able to almost have that wake-up call, the kick in the pants, so to say? The defense could wake up in a big way this weekend.
Absolutely. I agree 100%. I think in those first 3 games, you saw a couple of things from the defense that worried you, but you weren't too worried because the teams weren't that good. All of a sudden, you go up to Boston College, and you might have gotten exposed a little bit. That's exactly what the defense needed. They know now that there are things that they had to get fixed, and they've worked all week. I think Terrence Brooks said it well on Monday. He talked about the team needing to work on individual skills, and that means, not trying to get into a gap that you're not supposed to get in. Stay where you're supposed to be, play your assignment. That means you might not be making the tackle, but somebody else on your defense will, and that means a no gain instead of a big gain.
Big matchup. Kickoff slated for high noon, actually 12:01 if we're going to get specific inside here at Doak. Of course, great coverage as you come to expect from us here at Seminoles.com. Great highlights from Lane. A little shout out. Great week at Boston College shooting last week on the field, by the way. And hopefully many more highlights to come this week. So for Lane Hurt, I'm Scott Kotick saying go Noles, and we'll see you after the game.